Cowboy rescued a native girl from punishment. Next dawn, she knocked on his cabin door. The sun was just starting to rise over the rolling hills, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Tom, a young cowboy with a wide-brimmed hat and worn boots, guided his horse along a narrow dirt path. The air smelled fresh with dew, and the sound of birds filled the quiet morning. Tom had been riding since early dawn, checking the fences of his small ranch on the outskirts of the frontier town. He liked these quiet rides. They gave him time to think and enjoy the beauty of the land. As Tom reached a slight bend in the path, he noticed a group of people gathered in the village square. His curiosity was piqued because the square was usually calm at this hour. The villagers were talking loudly, pointing fingers, and there was a tension in the air that made Tom's stomach tighten. He guided his horse closer to get a better view. At the center of the crowd stood a young native girl, no older than 12 or 13. Her long black hair was loose, and her face showed a mix of fear and determination. Her small hands were clasped in front of her, and she looked at the villagers without lowering her gaze, as if she were trying to be brave. Tom's heart ached at the sight. He overheard snippets of the conversation.
"She broke the rules," an elder said sternly.
"She must face punishment." Another villager added, "It is tradition. She must learn respect for the law of our people." Tom knew nothing about all the rules and traditions of the village, but he could see that the punishment seemed harsh for what looked like a small mistake. The girl, Lily, had accidentally dropped a basket of berries while gathering food near the river. The berries had spilled, staining the ground, and the elder saw it as a serious offense. But Tom noticed the fear in her eyes, and he felt a strong urge to help her. It was not just about right or wrong. It was about compassion. He couldn't stand by and watch a young girl be punished for an honest mistake. Tom dismounted his horse and walked toward the crowd. The villagers parted slightly as he approached. His presence alone made them uneasy. Tom was known in the area as a fair but strong man, and he had helped settle disputes before, though not always to everyone's liking. He stopped a few feet away from the girl and looked at the elders with calm but firm eyes. "Is there no way to resolve this without hurting her?" Tom asked. His voice was steady, yet there was an edge that showed he was serious. The elders exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. They were proud of their traditions and did not like outsiders interfering, yet there was something about Tom's demeanor that made them pause. The villagers muttered among themselves, some frowning, some whispering doubts. Lily looked at Tom with a glimmer of hope. She had been scared, thinking she had no way out, but now she saw someone willing to stand for her. It gave her courage she didn't know she had. Tom knelt down slightly, lowering himself to the girl's level. "I don't know all your laws," he said gently, "but I know that hurting a child over a small mistake isn't right. Maybe there's a better way to teach her." Lily nodded slightly, grateful for the kindness in his voice. An elder stepped forward, his face stern. "You are a stranger here. You do not understand our ways." "Why should we listen to you?" he demanded. Tom took a deep breath. He could feel the tension in the air growing. "Because," he said firmly, "sometimes fairness and kindness matter more than punishment. She is a child. She deserves a chance to learn without fear." His words were simple, but they carried weight. The villagers looked at each other, unsure how to respond. After a long moment of silence, the elder nodded slowly. "Perhaps," he said, "we can reconsider. But she must promise to respect the rules in the future." Lily nodded quickly, relief washing over her face.
"I promise," she said softly. Tom helped Lily gather her things and guided her out of the square.
The villagers watched in silence, some still grumbling under their breath, but none dared stop them. As they walked through the quiet streets, Lily whispered, "Thank you." "I thought I would be in trouble forever," Tom smiled warmly. "Sometimes all it takes is one person to stand up." "You were brave too," he said. "You didn't run away or give up. That matters." Lily looked up at him, feeling a mix of admiration and relief. She had never met anyone like Tom before, someone who could be strong and kind at the same time. They reached the edge of the village where the forest began. The morning light filtered through the trees, creating patches of warmth on the ground. Lily paused, taking a deep breath. "I should go back to my family," she said. "They'll worry if I'm gone too long." Tom nodded. "Of course, but be careful. And remember, not everyone will understand your courage the way we do today." He handed her a small piece of bread from his bag. "Take this with you. It's not much, but it will help." Lily accepted it with gratitude, her small hands trembling slightly. Before she left, Lily turned back. "Will you come visit sometime?" she asked shyly. Tom chuckled softly. "Perhaps. But more importantly, remember that courage and kindness are what matter. That will guide you better than anyone else." With that, Lily ran lightly into the forest path, disappearing from sight. Tom watched her go, feeling a strange mixture of satisfaction and curiosity. He wondered how her life would unfold and whether this small act of kindness would change anything in the village.
As he mounted his horse and began the ride back to his cabin, Tom reflected on the morning.
The world was not always fair, he thought, but small acts of courage and compassion could make a difference. He hoped Lily would remember that. The sun was fully rising now, and the day promised warmth and light. Tom felt a sense of calm as he rode home, the wind brushing against his face and the sound of the forest around him. By the time he reached his cabin, the village square was quiet again, and life seemed to continue as if nothing had happened. But Tom knew better. Today had been different. Today he had made a choice to help someone who needed it, and that choice, however small, had already made a difference. Inside his cabin, Tom prepared a small breakfast, thinking about Lily and the bravery she had shown. He didn't know what the future held, but he felt certain that their paths would cross again. And somehow he knew that when they did, it would be for something important. The morning light filled the room as he sat by the window, sipping coffee, listening to the distant sounds of the village awakening. Tom smiled quietly to himself. Life on the frontier was unpredictable, but moments like these made it worth every risk. The sun had barely risen when Tom heard a soft, insistent knocking at his cabin door. The sound startled him because no one usually visited this early, and he had expected the morning to be quiet after the events in the village the day before. He set down the coffee cup he had been sipping and wiped his hands on a cloth. Tom opened the door slowly, squinting in the bright morning light. Standing there was Lily, the young girl he had helped escape punishment. Her eyes were wide, and her expression was a mix of nervousness and determination. She held her small bundle of belongings close, and the morning breeze gently lifted strands of her long hair. "Lily?" Tom asked, surprise evident in his voice. "What brings you here so early?" I wanted to thank you," she said softly. Her voice carried the timbre of sincerity and humility. "And I need your help with something." She hesitated for a moment, looking down at the ground, then back at him. It is important for my family." Tom studied her carefully. He could see the courage behind her young eyes, the kind of courage that came from responsibility beyond her years. He stepped aside, gesturing her inside. "Come in," he said gently. "Tell me what is troubling you." Lily stepped into the cabin and set her bundle on the floor. Tom offered her a chair, but she shook her head politely. She preferred to stand, ready to leave at any moment if necessary. "My father, he needs food for the winter," she explained. "Some of our supplies were damaged and I cannot carry everything alone. I thought maybe—"
"You could help me." Tom's heart warmed at her honesty.
He had always respected people who took responsibility for their families, and Lily's bravery impressed him. He knew that helping her would not be easy. There were distances to travel, rough terrain, and the possibility of the villagers finding out. Yet he felt that he could not turn her away. "All right," he said finally. "I will help you, but you must stay close and listen carefully. The journey will not be easy, and I don't want you to get hurt." Lily nodded eagerly, relief evident in her eyes. "Thank you, Tom," she said simply. "I will do whatever you ask." After a quick breakfast, Tom packed a few essential supplies into a saddlebag. He chose dried meat, bread, water, and a small knife for emergencies. Lily watched him carefully, her curiosity growing as she saw how a cowboy prepared for travel. Tom explained each item and why it was important, teaching her how to pack light but wisely. They mounted their horses and began their journey into the nearby forest. The trees were tall and dense, and the air was filled with the fresh scent of pine. Lily's horse was smaller than Tom's, but it was strong and steady. She guided it skillfully as if she had ridden before, though she admitted shyly that she was more accustomed to walking. As they traveled, Tom spoke gently to her, asking questions about her life and family. Lily shared stories about her younger siblings, the daily tasks she helped her parents with, and the lessons she had learned in her community. Tom listened carefully, impressed by her intelligence and the wisdom she carried despite her young age. Hours passed as they rode through the forest. Birds chirped overhead, and the occasional squirrel darted across the path. Lily pointed out different plants and explained which ones were edible and which were used for medicine. Tom was amazed at her knowledge. She seemed to understand the forest as if it were an extension of her own home. Around midday, they stopped near a clear stream to rest. Tom dismounted first and helped Lily get down from her horse. He offered her some water from his canteen and handed her a piece of bread. They sat by the stream, the gentle sound of water flowing over rocks providing a peaceful background to their conversation. "You are very brave, Lily," Tom said, looking at her. "It is not easy to travel like this, especially at your age."
Lily smiled faintly.
"I do not have a choice," she said simply. "My family—"
"They depend on me. I must help them." Tom nodded, understanding completely. He had grown up learning responsibility on the ranch, and he respected anyone who carried their duties with courage. "I will make sure we get the supplies safely," he promised. "You don't have to do this alone." As they continued their journey, they encountered small challenges. A fallen tree blocked the path, and Lily's horse hesitated nervously. Tom guided the horse carefully over the obstacle, showing her how to remain calm and steady. She learned quickly, her confidence growing with every step. Later, they crossed a shallow stream. The water was cold, and Lily's horse skidded slightly on the slippery rocks. Tom steadied the animal and encouraged her, showing patience and understanding. Lily's laughter rang out as they finally reached the other side, and Tom smiled, enjoying the rare sound of pure joy. By late afternoon, they reached a small clearing where wild berries grew abundantly. Lily's eyes lit up, and she began picking them carefully, placing them into a small basket Tom had brought. Tom showed her how to identify the ripest berries and avoid the ones that were not safe to eat. Lily listened attentively, following his instructions perfectly. As the sun began to set, they set up a small camp in the clearing. Tom gathered firewood while Lily arranged their supplies neatly. They cooked a simple meal over the fire, sharing stories and laughter. Lily told Tom about her dreams of helping her village, learning new skills, and maybe one day teaching other children. Tom encouraged her, telling her that with her determination she could achieve anything she set her mind to. That night, under a sky full of stars, Tom and Lily sat quietly by the fire. The forest was peaceful, with only the occasional rustle of leaves or distant call of an owl. Lily looked up at the stars and sighed. "I never thought anyone would help me like this," she said softly. "Most people would have just left me to face my punishment." Tom smiled, feeling a deep respect for the girl. "Sometimes doing the right thing is all that matters," he said. "You taught me something too. Courage is not about fighting or being strong. It's about facing what is difficult and standing up for what is right." Lily nodded, feeling proud and inspired. She realized that helping her family with Tom's guidance was not just about survival. It was also about learning responsibility, trust, and the value of kindness. She felt a growing bond with Tom, a sense of safety and respect she had not felt before. The night passed quietly, with the fire crackling gently and the two of them resting near it. Tom stayed alert, listening for any signs of danger, but none came. He felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that he could help Lily without putting her at risk. Lily, meanwhile, drifted into sleep with a feeling of hope and courage she had never known before. The next morning the forest was bathed in golden sunlight. Birds sang cheerfully and the air smelled of dew and pine. Tom woke first, checking their surroundings and ensuring everything was safe. Lily woke soon after, stretching and smiling at the sight of their peaceful campsite.
"Ready for another day?" Tom asked, offering her some water.
"Yes,"
She replied with determination.
"Let's go." And so their journey continued. Together they navigated the forest, faced small challenges, and grew closer through trust and shared experiences. Tom taught Lily practical skills like tracking, riding, and basic survival, while Lily shared her knowledge of the land and plants. They became a team, learning from each other and respecting each other's strengths. By the time they reached the outskirts of Lily's village, they had built a strong bond of trust and friendship. Tom could see how much she had grown in courage and confidence, and Lily felt safe knowing someone would stand by her side when life seemed uncertain. Though their journey was only beginning, both of them knew that this was a moment they would never forget. A single act of courage, the rescue in the village square, had led to something much greater: trust, friendship, and the promise of hope. The morning air was crisp as Tom and Lily continued their journey, the sunlight filtering through the tall trees and casting long shadows on the forest floor. Lily's horse moved steadily alongside Tom's, her small hands gripping the reins with growing confidence. Each day that passed, she seemed braver and more capable. Tom noticed how she carefully observed the world around her, from the tracks of animals in the dirt to the way the wind rustled through the leaves. As they walked, Tom spoke softly, asking her questions about her village and family. Lily shared stories about her younger siblings, the lessons her parents had taught her, and the challenges they faced in daily life. She spoke with honesty and clarity, her voice carrying a mix of pride and concern. Tom listened closely, impressed by her intelligence and the wisdom she carried despite her young age. "You're very brave, Lily," Tom said during a pause in their journey. "It takes courage to face difficulties like you do, especially at such a young age." Lily smiled faintly.
"I have to be brave. My family counts on me."
"And I don't want anyone to be hurt because of me." Her words carried a depth of responsibility that touched Tom. He realized that this small girl had grown up faster than most children her age, learning lessons about life and duty that many adults never faced. They stopped near a small stream to rest and have a simple meal. Tom unpacked the dried meat and bread he had brought, sharing it with Lily. She accepted the food gratefully, taking small bites as she looked around at the forest. She pointed out different plants and berries along the stream, explaining which ones could be eaten and which were used for medicine. Tom listened carefully, amazed at how much she knew about the land. After their meal, they continued deeper into the forest. The terrain grew rougher, with uneven paths and fallen branches blocking the way. Lily's horse stumbled slightly on a rocky path, but Tom guided her carefully, showing her how to maintain balance and stay calm. Lily concentrated, following his instructions perfectly. With each small obstacle, her confidence grew, and Tom couldn't help but smile at her determination. Along the way, they encountered several challenges that tested their skills and patience. A fallen tree blocked their path, and Lily's horse hesitated, unsure of how to pass. Tom dismounted and led the way, showing her how to step carefully over the thick trunk. Lily followed, her movements precise and careful. When they finally made it past the obstacle, she laughed, a clear, joyful sound that echoed through the trees. As they traveled, Tom taught Lily more than just survival skills. He taught her how to read the signs of nature, how to notice animal tracks, predict weather changes, and recognize potential dangers before they became threats. Lily absorbed the lessons quickly, asking questions and trying the techniques herself. Tom admired her eagerness to learn and her ability to stay calm under pressure. In the late afternoon, they reached a small clearing where wild berries grew abundantly. Lily's eyes lit up, and she began picking them carefully, placing them in the basket Tom had brought. He watched her, impressed by how methodically she worked. "You have a good eye for this," he said. "These berries will help your family a lot." Lily smiled shyly. "Thank you, Tom. I never knew I could learn so much in just a few days." Tom nodded. "Learning is part of every journey," he said. The more we observe and practice, the stronger we become. As the sun began to dip behind the trees, they set up a small camp in the clearing. Tom gathered firewood while Lily arranged their supplies neatly. They cooked a simple meal over the fire, sharing stories and laughter. Lily told Tom about her dreams of helping her village, learning new skills, and one day teaching other children. Tom encouraged her, reminding her that determination and courage were just as important as skill. That night, under a sky full of stars, Tom and Lily sat quietly by the fire. The forest was peaceful, with only the occasional rustle of leaves or distant call of an owl. Lily looked up at the stars and sighed. "I never thought anyone would help me like this," she said softly. "Most people would have just left me to face my punishment." Tom smiled, feeling a deep respect for the girl. "Sometimes doing the right thing is all that matters," he said. "You taught me something too. Courage is not about fighting or being strong. It's about facing what is difficult and standing up for what is right." The next day brought new challenges. The forest became denser, and the path was harder to follow. They had to navigate around fallen branches, cross shallow streams, and avoid uneven ground. Lily's confidence continued to grow, and she began pointing out safe paths and helping Tom when the trail became tricky. Along the way, they encountered a small herd of deer grazing quietly in a clearing. Tom stopped, signaling Lily to do the same. They watched the deer together, learning patience and observation. Lily whispered in excitement, "They are so graceful. I never get to see them up close like this." Tom nodded. "Nature teaches us a lot if we take the time to watch and learn." As the afternoon sun began to lower, they reached a hill overlooking the village where Lily lived. From this height, the small huts and fields were visible, and Lily's face lit up with recognition and relief. She realized how close they were to completing their journey. "We're almost there," she said softly. "My family will be so happy." Tom smiled. "Yes, but we must stay careful until we are safe. We don't want to rush and make mistakes." That evening, they set up camp near the edge of the forest. Tom built a small fire and Lily helped gather wood. They cooked a simple dinner, sharing the meal in comfortable silence. The crackling of the fire and the sounds of the forest around them created a peaceful atmosphere. Lily shared more about her family and village life. She spoke about her parents' hard work, her siblings' playful antics, and the small joys and struggles of daily life. Tom listened with genuine interest, learning more about the girl he had come to respect deeply. He realized that their bond was growing stronger with each passing day. As night fell, Lily looked up at the sky full of stars. "Do you think my family will be proud of me?" she asked quietly. Tom put a gentle hand on her shoulder. "They already are, Lily. They will see your courage and your hard work, and they will be proud of the person you are becoming. Remember, courage and kindness are always noticed, even if people don't say it out loud." Lily smiled, feeling reassured and inspired. She realized that this journey was about more than just helping her family with supplies. It was also about learning responsibility, trust, and the value of kindness. She felt a growing bond with Tom, a sense of safety and respect she had not felt before. The night passed quietly, with the fire crackling gently, and the two of them resting near it. Tom stayed alert, listening for any signs of danger, but none came. He felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that he could help Lily without putting her at risk. Lily, meanwhile, drifted into sleep with a feeling of hope and courage she had never known before. The next morning they woke to the sound of birds singing and the sun streaming through the trees. They packed their camp carefully, ensuring they left no trace behind. Lily's horse had grown stronger and more confident, and she guided it with skill and determination. Tom noticed how much she had learned and how much she had grown in just a few days. As they continued their journey, they encountered a small clearing with wildflowers in full bloom. Lily paused, marveling at the colors and scents. Tom smiled, happy to see her enjoying the simple beauty of nature. Sometimes, he said, the journey is not just about reaching the destination. It's about noticing the beauty around us and learning from it. Lily nodded, understanding the lesson. She realized that every step of the journey had taught her something new, about survival, about courage, about trust, and about kindness. She felt stronger, more capable, and ready to face the challenges ahead. By the time they reached the outskirts of Lily's village, both Tom and Lily had grown closer through shared experiences and mutual respect. Tom could see how much she had grown in courage and confidence, and Lily felt safe knowing someone would stand by her side when life seemed uncertain. Though their journey was not yet complete, both of them knew that this adventure had already changed them. A single act of courage, the rescue in the village square, had led to something much greater: trust, friendship, and the promise of hope. The morning sun shone brightly over the forest, and Tom and Lily were already on their way, moving carefully toward the outskirts of the village. The path had become narrower, and the trees pressed closer together, creating shadows that danced across the ground. The air smelled of earth and pine, and the sound of birds chirping made the forest feel alive. Both of them were quiet, focused on their journey, yet the excitement of reaching Lily's village soon filled the air. Lily's heart beat faster as she thought of her family. Her siblings would run to greet her, and her parents would be relieved and proud that she had returned safely with the supplies. But there was also a sense of nervousness. She remembered the villagers who had wanted to punish her, and she worried that some people might be angry that she had spent the past few days away. Tom noticed her nervous glances and offered a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, Lily," he said softly. "We will get through this together. Just stay close, and remember everything you've learned so far. You are ready for this." Lily nodded, feeling encouraged by his words. She took a deep breath and focused on guiding her horse through the uneven path. Tom walked beside her, scanning the surroundings carefully. He knew that the closer they got to the village, the higher the chance of encountering someone who might misunderstand their intentions. As they approached a small clearing near the edge of the village, Tom spotted movement among the trees. A group of villagers had begun searching for Lily, realizing she was not in the village the previous night. Some were angry, others worried, but none knew exactly where she had gone. Tom knew that if they saw her too soon, they might panic or make a rash decision. "Stay calm," he whispered to Lily. "We will move quietly and avoid them. Do not speak unless I tell you to." Lily nodded and tightened her grip on the reins. Her small hands were steady now, trained by the lessons of the past few days. Tom led the way, guiding them around the clearing and through a narrow path that would take them behind the village, where they would be safe from view. As they moved, Lily noticed familiar sights: the small huts, the cultivated fields, and the river where she had played with her siblings. She felt a mix of relief and longing. She missed her family, yet she had grown stronger and braver during her time away. Tom watched her closely, proud of the courage she had shown. Suddenly, a voice called out from the trees.
"Lily! There you are!"
Both Tom and Lily froze. A man from the village, one of the elders, was standing at the edge of the clearing. He looked concerned but also stern. Lily's heart skipped a beat. She had not expected to be found this soon. Tom stepped forward calmly, his hands raised slightly to show he meant no harm. "We're not here to cause trouble," he said. "Lily has been helping her family. We were bringing supplies back for them." The elder frowned, his eyes narrowing as he studied Tom. "You are an outsider," he said. "Why do you involve yourself in our village matters?" Tom met his gaze steadily. "Because it was the right thing to do," he said. "The girl did not deserve punishment for a small mistake, and she needed help. We are returning safely and quietly, without causing harm to anyone." The elder hesitated, unsure how to respond. He had heard of Tom's reputation for fairness and bravery, but he was also bound by his duty to maintain the rules of the village. After a moment, he nodded slowly. "Very well," he said. "But you must understand that some people may not see it this way. Proceed carefully." Tom nodded, grateful for the warning. He gestured to Lily, who followed him quietly. Together they continued toward the village, taking a small path along the riverbank that kept them out of sight from most of the villagers. Lily's heart pounded with anticipation, and she could feel the adrenaline of being so close to home. Finally, they reached a small clearing near her family's hut. Lily's eyes lit up as she saw her parents and siblings waiting. Her younger brother ran toward her, his face full of excitement. "Lily!" he shouted, hugging her tightly. Her younger sister followed, her eyes wide with curiosity and happiness. Lily knelt down to embrace her siblings, tears of relief filling her eyes. "I'm here," she said softly. "I'm safe." Her parents rushed forward, their faces a mix of worry and joy. Her father embraced her firmly. "Thank goodness you are safe, Lily," he said. "We were so worried."
"Where have you been?" Lily explained briefly about the journey, how she had needed to bring back supplies and how Tom had helped her. Her parents listened intently, their expressions softening as they realized the care and bravery Lily had shown. Tom stood nearby, watching silently as the family reunited. He felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that he had played a part in keeping Lily safe and helping her family. Yet he remained alert, aware that not all villagers would accept their actions without question. As night approached, some villagers began to gather near the edge of the clearing, curious about what had happened. Tom could see the mix of suspicion and admiration on their faces. He stepped forward, addressing the small crowd. "She did not break any laws intentionally," Tom said firmly. "She acted with responsibility and courage. We were only helping her return safely to her family. That is all." The villagers murmured among themselves. Some nodded in understanding, while others remained hesitant. Slowly, they began to accept the explanation, realizing that no harm had been done. Lily's parents thanked Tom again, acknowledging his bravery and kindness. That night, as the village settled under a sky full of stars, Tom sat with Lily and her family near a small fire. They shared a simple meal, and Lily's parents spoke of the lesson she had learned. They praised her courage and determination, and Lily felt a deep sense of pride and accomplishment. Tom and Lily talked quietly afterward, away from the fire. "You were amazing today," Tom said. "You stayed calm, focused, and brave, even when it was scary." Lily smiled, feeling a warmth of gratitude. "I learned from you, Tom. You taught me how to stay calm, think carefully, and trust myself. I couldn't have done it without you." Tom shook his head gently. "No, Lily, you did it because of your courage. I only guided you. You faced every challenge with strength and wisdom." The night passed peacefully. Lily felt safe and loved, surrounded by her family and knowing that she had someone like Tom who believed in her. Tom, too, felt a sense of fulfillment. He had acted on what he knew was right, and the result was a bond of trust, friendship, and respect that would last beyond this journey. As dawn approached, the first light touched the village rooftops. Tom knew that their time together in this adventure had strengthened both of them. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and challenges, yet they had emerged stronger and closer. Lily was now not only safe but also confident and capable in ways she had never imagined. The journey had tested their courage and patience, but it had also brought them lessons about trust, friendship, and the power of standing up for what is right. Both of them knew that life would continue with new challenges, but they had grown together and learned that they could face the future with bravery and kindness. Tom packed his supplies quietly and prepared to leave, knowing that Lily was safe with her family. Lily approached him, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Will you visit again?" she asked softly. Tom smiled. "Perhaps," he said. "But remember, you are brave, capable, and smart. You can handle many things on your own. Just trust yourself." Lily nodded, understanding. "Thank you, Tom," she said, "for everything." With a final wave, Tom mounted his horse and rode off into the morning light. Lily watched him disappear over the hills, feeling a mix of sadness and gratitude. She knew that this adventure would remain with her forever, a story of courage, friendship, and the difference that one person's kindness could make. And as Tom rode away, he looked back at the village, smiling quietly. He knew that the world was full of challenges, but moments like these reminded him why standing up for what is right was always worth it. The morning sun rose gently over the village, casting a warm glow on the small huts and the green fields. Lily awoke early, her heart still full of the excitement and relief of the previous day. She looked around at her family sleeping peacefully, feeling grateful that everyone was safe and that she had helped them bring back much-needed supplies. She quietly got up, careful not to wake anyone.
and stepped outside to feel the cool morning air on her face. The sky was clear, and the birds sang cheerfully as she walked toward the river, remembering the journey she had shared with Tom. She thought about the lessons he had taught her: how to stay calm, how to trust herself, and how to face challenges with courage. She realized that his guidance had changed her, not just in skills, but in the way she thought about herself and the world. As she walked along the riverbank, she noticed a shadow moving in the distance. Her heart skipped a beat, and she instinctively stepped closer to the trees. Then she recognized a figure. It was Tom, riding his horse calmly toward her. "Tom!" Lily called out, her voice full of surprise and joy. She ran a few steps toward him, her excitement barely contained. Tom smiled warmly as he dismounted. "Good morning, Lily," he said. "I thought I would come by to see how everyone is doing." Lily felt a wave of happiness. "They are fine," she said eagerly. "Thank you again for helping us. We couldn't have done it without you." Tom chuckled. "You did most of the work, Lily. I just helped guide you. You were the one who showed courage, patience, and determination. That is what truly matters." They walked together toward the village, talking quietly. Lily told him about how her siblings had been overjoyed to see her, and how her parents had praised her bravery. Tom listened, nodding with a proud smile. As they approached the center of the village, a few villagers noticed Tom. Some were curious, some cautious, and a few still uncertain about his presence. Lily stepped forward, standing proudly beside him. "This is Tom," she said clearly. "He helped me when I needed it. He guided me safely back to my family." The villagers murmured among themselves. Slowly, the tension from previous days began to fade. They could see the trust and respect between Lily and Tom. The elder who had questioned Tom before nodded slightly, acknowledging that the boy's actions were honorable. Tom smiled at the villagers. "I only did what was right," he said. "Lily acted with bravery and responsibility." It is important to recognize that courage comes in many forms, not just from adults or leaders. The elder approached Tom, offering a hand of respect. "You have taught us a lesson too," he said. "Not all outsiders bring trouble. Some bring guidance and fairness. You have our gratitude." Tom nodded humbly. "Thank you," he replied. "I only hope to encourage the courage and goodness that already exist here." After this brief meeting, Lily led Tom to her family's home. Her parents welcomed him warmly, inviting him to share a meal. They talked about the journey, the supplies, and the lessons Lily had learned along the way. Tom listened with interest, offering advice where appropriate, but mostly allowing Lily to speak about her experiences. During the meal, Lily's father looked at her with pride. "You have grown so much in a short time," he said. "Your courage and wisdom will help guide our family and village in the future." Lily blushed, but felt proud inside. She realized that the journey had not just been about gathering supplies. It had been about learning, growing, and showing strength of character. After the meal, Tom and Lily stepped outside to enjoy the afternoon sun. They walked quietly, observing the villagers as they went about their daily tasks. Lily noticed how the villagers began to approach her with smiles and curiosity rather than suspicion. She realized that her courage and actions had begun to change how others saw her. Tom turned to her and said, "Do you see, Lily? You have made a difference, not just for your family, but for your village. Sometimes one brave act can inspire many people to see things differently."
Lily nodded thoughtfully. "I understand now," she said.
Courage is not just about facing danger. It is also about standing up for what is right, even when it is hard. Tom smiled. "Exactly. And you have shown that in every way."
As the day passed, the villagers began to return to their daily routines. Children played near the river, parents tended to their fields, and the elder spoke with other villagers about the lessons learned from Lily's journey.
The village seemed calmer, more understanding, and more united. Lily could see the changes, and it gave her hope for the future. Later in the afternoon, Tom and Lily found a quiet spot near the edge of the village. They sat together under a large oak tree, the gentle breeze rustling the leaves above them. Lily turned to Tom with a thoughtful expression.
"Do you have to leave soon?" she asked softly.
Tom nodded, Yes, I have responsibilities on my ranch, he said. But I will always remember this journey, and I hope you will too. Lily looked down at her hands, then back at him. I will, she said firmly. You taught me how to be brave and think carefully. I will not forget that. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the quiet sounds of the village. Lily felt a deep sense of gratitude for everything Tom had done. She realized that their friendship was rare and special, something she would carry with her for the rest of her life. As evening approached, Tom prepared to leave. Lily walked with him to the edge of the village, where his horse was waiting. She looked at him with a mixture of sadness and admiration. Thank you for everything, she said again. I will never forget you. Tom smiled, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. And I will never forget you, Lily, he said. Remember, courage and kindness will guide you through life. Trust yourself, and you will achieve great things. Lily nodded, feeling inspired and confident. She watched as Tom mounted his horse and rode away, his figure slowly disappearing over the hills. She felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that she had grown stronger, braver, and wiser because of the journey they had shared. The village returned to its peaceful rhythm, but something had changed. Lily's courage and determination had inspired those around her. The villagers had seen the power of kindness and trust, and they began to understand that bravery could take many forms. Lily knew that she would continue to grow and help her family and community, carrying the lessons she had learned with Tom. As night fell, Lily sat outside her hut, looking at the stars. She thought about the journey, the challenges she had faced, and the bond she had formed with Tom. She realized that even small acts of courage could make a big difference. She felt a sense of hope for the future, knowing that she had the strength to face whatever came her way. Her family joined her outside, and together they gazed at the stars, talking quietly about the day and the lessons learned. Lily felt a deep connection to her family, her village, and the world around her. She knew that life would continue to bring challenges, but she felt ready to face them with courage, wisdom, and kindness. Tom's visit had been brief, but its impact was lasting. Lily had learned that trust, courage, and kindness could change lives, not just for herself, but for others as well. She had seen that one person's actions could inspire hope, build respect, and create lasting bonds. As the night grew darker and the stars shone brighter, Lily whispered a quiet thank you to Tom wherever he might be. She knew that their paths might cross again someday, but even if they did not, the lessons he had taught her would remain forever. She felt proud, strong, and ready to continue her journey, guided by the courage and friendship that had begun with a simple act of kindness. The next dawn would bring new challenges and opportunities, but Lily was no longer the same girl who had faced punishment alone in the village square. She was brave, confident, and full of hope. She had learned the power of courage, the importance of trust, and the value of kindness. And with those lessons she knew she could face any challenge life placed before her.